So I'm out here in my junkyard, and it's pretty toasty out here. And next week's going to be above 100 degrees. And when I was first on the oil field, it was always 100, 110, especially in late August. Yeah, it was pretty toasty. So the sun, is beating down on you. Anyways, so I'm going to share my tips on how to keep cool outside. And my first tip would be shut down and head her to the pool, but that doesn't make any money. So let's get in it. So one of the biggest things, in my opinion, is actually having a water jug. When I started, that's all we had. We didn't have bottled water. We had a couple Gatorades we'd buy, pop cans, whatever. And when I first would drink from the water jug, we'd actually just take a pop can and fill it up, and 12 ounces at a time. Or we'd take a empty Powerade or Gatorade jug and fill that up, and it'd get hot. But we'd drink half of it and get hot and throw the rest out. But this shit needs to stop. These things do not. The water is bad for you with low pH and low alkalinity, so you can't drink as much as you would with just house water. The free water is what I always call it. And then you got this shit everywhere, half drinking. I mean, why is an empty one in here? I don't even know. It's just ridiculous. And hands don't pick them up and everything. So the worst thing a company can do is provide bottled water. When I ran my rig, I provided ice for the cooler, and I hardly ever bought bottled water, just to give the guys in the rod basket some water. This does not. Everybody who drinks this, they're always struggle. They always struggle. Get yourself a water jug and get yourself a 30-ounce tumbler. That tumbler will hold that water cold for hours until you get to about this much water, and you will stay hydrated the whole day. It's easy. This shit needs to stop. I have 3 of these jugs, these cups, and I used to have the Walmart Ozark Trail flipper, and those are nice because it kept shit from going in. You can see that there's swab things on there from swabbing and hard water stains, and it's kind of nasty. But I use it one day and I put it in the dishwasher and grab another one and rotate them out. And if I really cared, these lids are cheap and you can replace the lid. If you look at old farmers, they're always wearing long sleeves, and there's a big reason. Long sleeves, jeans, full brim hard hat, and a rag underneath their hard hat. This right here is just that, and the jug of water. You'll never struggle again with heat. I mean, it's not even hard. So you're so much hotter. The sun heats up your skin, your arms, and this doesn't even happen. And then you sweat, and the wind blows away your water, and you have to drink more water. And same thing with a hard hat and putting a thin rag underneath it. You sweat into the rag captures it, and then it keeps your head cool, and you stop sweating, and you're retaining the water. The water is able to keep you cool. Jeans kind of suck because they're thick, but they give you really good protection. These are not even that thick, but it doesn't matter. Just some sort of long pants, and they'll do the same thing. And same with boots. These are going to let dirt in, and they're going to heat your feet up and everything like that. You got to wear the shoes. Baseball caps, no, they'll hold sweat in, so that rings true. But they're going to heat up your ears, heat up your neck. You need the full brim hard hat or some sort of cowboy hat. I used to struggle. Of course, it used to be really hot. But in about 2010, we got FR uniforms, and they were long sleeves, and I rolled them up to my arms because I was like, long sleeves are gonna make me hotter. And then in 2011, I was like, man, there's a lot of old farmers, all the Mexicans, they all had long sleeves on. And so I left them down and I buttoned them down, and yeah, it makes a huge difference. I mean, you're holding your water in, you're not sweating like crazy. The sun's not heating up your arms. It's an insane how much of a difference it is. So people, they're wearing baseball caps or nothing at all, sleeveless shirts, no shirts. Dude, you're struggling. Another tip is, at night, take a little taste of salt. You can use just regular table salt or whatever, pink salt that probably has mercury in it, or Celtic salt, which is probably the best for you. But take a little taste of it. If it tastes really good, like best thing ever, get you a swig and eat the whole thing. and then a couple hours later, try it again. When it gets over triple digits, I probably eat 2 of these a day at night. And you know, say what you want to say about high salt diets or low sodium diets or whatever, but I'm probably losing this much salt or more during the day. So I can get, in the summer, I can eat all the salt I want down the hatch. Oh yeah, tastes like fucking gold. So a trick that's new to me is this sun sail, and this thing is huge. It's 13 by 20. It's actually way too big, and you see I have it on my house over there, and these things are super epic at keeping your cool underneath it, whatever's in the shade, because they're a mesh, and they let wind and heat, more importantly heat, go through them. So I used to have a triangle until that last little heat bit. I left it up and the wind came up and destroyed it. The triangle is super handy because you attach one to the pole or the derrick, and then 2 kind of like the stakes or pump unit, rod rack, whatever. And it's super easy, super handy setup. But I'm left, and I had another one of these set up, and it also got taken out, which it was super old. I think it was like 5 years old. So I'm down to one of these left because I just used the ones that got destroyed by the Kansas weather. So. And usually it rips off one of these ends, and I just tie a knot about it and then tie a rope around it. So what I do here is I usually use the regular auger bit. So you guys with derricks are already set up, and you can use a 6-inch. This is a 3-inch, and you can use a 6-inch, drill you a hole. It only needs to be one this deep, and find some posts. I like to think pump barrels will work. These came with my house. I have no idea what they're for. They're pretty thin, so I'm going to try this out while I'm working on this truck. I'm going to set this up and see how well it works for something this thin. But I'm thinking 1.5-inch pump barrels ought to work pretty good. And I got this long one here. I might cut it in half. But I used that last time I did it. I used joints of tubing, and it worked out pretty good. So we're going to use this stuff because this is thin and handy, and we'll see how it gets to us. So now I got her set up. Instead of finding a third post, I just tied it to the fence. And so I kind of wish this post is the tall one. I didn't even cut it in half. Wish I would have just put that post over there by the junk ladder and made this up a little taller, because yeah, it's too short for oil field use. But you know, if you have the right stuff, you can get it way higher. So I'm thinking putting maybe if we had like 14-foot barrels by 2-inch pump barrels, that this would be perfect. You know, you get 4 feet in the ground and 10 feet out. And of course this is 8 feet. So right here, this is workable. It's just because I need a tight. Actually, if I went and raised that one up, probably be fine. But this is going to get me going here. So yeah, more you get this set up, the easier it is. And like I said, you tie 2 to the rig, you know, maybe pump unit, something on the front guide wire, and then you drill out 2 posts. And I'm even thinking, I wonder if you take a rod and weld a box to it, and you know, you have 6 feet of rod underneath it, and you just pound her in, and there you go. So I might try that. I might rig me up some of those if I can't find pump barrels easy. But yeah, and then this always gets me. I don't know why. I think it's this curve of this thing. But see, now I'm not all the way in here, and the shade goes there. So you always have to just kind of get used to it and rig up what you can. So that's how I avoid this, because in Kansas the wind is just going to blow this right off, and with long sleeves it doesn't. So good luck, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Beautiful.